The Athletic has even been told that one player has expressed to his teammates that he is not too concerned by the possibility of relegation because he believes he can and will leave the club this summer. This was reported by Jay Harris today for The Athletic. Hello everyone and welcome to the Spurs Pursuits. I'm your host Martin Frank and today we'll be discussing two topics. One, the comments I have just mentioned, and two, what manager could possibly save Tottenham Hotspur from relegation. Quick comment, it's not Igor Tudor. So, let's start with the comments. So, one player has expressed to his teammates that he believes he's on his way out most definitely in the summer and he does not care if Tottenham Hotspur are relegated, which speaks absolute volumes right now. It's obviously not possible to name a player in the public eye because that would absolutely damage and cause devastation for Tottenham Hotspur because it is clearly a player who plays regularly for Tottenham. And there have been two names thrown around by Tottenham Hotspur fans. Xavi Simons, who has found himself on the bench for the past two games, or Mickey van der Ven, who has seen an absolutely insane drop of performance since the arrival of Igor Tudor. Actually, already prior to that, even that Newcastle game, basically since Christian Romero has been sent off at Manchester United, we have seen an absolute regress of form for Mickey van der Ven. Now, of course, it's impossible to name who it actually is. We can only be left to speculate. But there are certain signs that you can look at certain players and go, more likely to be him, less likely to be him. The fact that Tottenham Hotspur have a player in the camp that is unwilling to fight, that doesn't care about fighting, what does that tell you inside? And I've been extremely critical of Igor Tudor, so have many fans, but one thing I will not take away from him, and that is his honesty. The mention of the bad habits. What bad habits is he referring to? Well, look at what is coming out. Can you imagine the information that has not been released that is happening right now at the club? We are historically in the biggest mess. I will repeat what I've been repeating on my videos. 6 defeats in a row, the first time in the history of the club. 11 winless games in the Premier League, the first time since 1975. And Tottenham Hotspur sit just 1 point off safety going into the final 9 games of the season, with a trip to Anfield against Liverpool on Sunday, where Tottenham Hotspur have failed to win since 2011. Whether you want to speculate whether that's Mickey van der Ven, whether that's Xavi Simons, whether that's Guglielmo Vicario, who has even been dropped last game, which obviously didn't go to plan after he was put back on the field in the 16th minute. It speaks volumes about the leadership, about the mentality, about the cohesion of the club right now. And if we expect this set of players under this manager who hasn't had the desired bounce to survive the Premier League with relegation rivals picking up points or picking up positive performances, we are in a mess. And potentially, could Igor Tudor have already made or had already made an impact there? Has Igor Tudor already done something to indicate he doesn't want these players? He mentioned, if you remember, a week ago, that he wants certain players on the boat with him that are ready to fight, and the players that are not ready to fight, that he doesn't want on the boat. We were critical of this comment. I saw a lot of fans were showing displeasure on social media. But actually, what if he is correct? What if he has seen something in training, in the changing room? Whether that's also certain players communicating that to him. That this player or this player doesn't care. He has maybe done the right thing. He is not the right fit, but maybe he has a chance to expose certain things to the public eye. And the funny thing is, right, whoever this player is, I do not want to mention or put words in players' mouth that never happened. Whoever this player is needs to take a real look at himself because it will damage his reputation most definitely. Because if he is guaranteed departure from the club in the summer, that means that he must have had already some form of contact with other clubs, meaning the pool of players from this group of 25 is obviously shrinked, With the injuries, it's even lower. So whoever this player is, are you not realizing this is damaging your reputation at a different club as well? Because of course you might never be in a relegation battle again. I get that. But one thing it does not do is put you in a good light in any way, shape or form. Because if you show you are not ready to fight for the team, now at Tottenham Hotspur, why do you think you will have the mentality to be fighting elsewhere? Do other problems not exist at different clubs? Yes, maybe not to the extent that they do at Tottenham Hotspur. I get that. But there will always be some form of challenge. And if you are so mentally fragile to not fight for the badge you are currently wearing, that speaks volumes about you. And that is absolutely embarrassing. What Jay Harris did fantastically in this article that he has put out today, which I really recommend for you to check out, is he mentioned Andy Robertson, who Tottenham Hotspur were heavily linked to in the summer, and his comments and his mentality. Now, he was asked, Andy Robertson, about his, foul move to Tottenham Hotspur in January. And this was his response that he told the reporters. My focus never came of trying to help the lads on the pitch and in training. And I'll be committed until I'm no longer needed. This player, a 32-year-old Scotsman who puts his heart and soul on that pitch, has only started 5 league games since the start of the season. In comparison, Kinski has played 3 games this season. Andy Robertson has totaled a total of fantastic. He has played a total of 633 minutes this season. If you want context, Yves Bissouma has played roughly that much. And to come out in public and, say that, and he doesn't even need to say that, Andy Robertson is a top professional. We might be critical of Ben Davies and his performances and maybe his stagnation, or we haven't upgraded on him. He has leadership, something our players don't. Yes, maybe our players are more technical. Maybe our players have a higher ceiling of potential. But do they have a higher ceiling of potential in the professional world? I doubt it. And you can guarantee that Ben Davies is probably out there being one of the leaders behind the scenes, suffering a devastating injury. This is absolutely appalling that one of the Tottenham Hotspur players has gone out there and said that. It really is. And it shows you the difference between mentality. And it shows you the market strategy of Tottenham Hotspur and how we operate. Because if you are bringing in players who are treating Tottenham Hotspur as a stepping stone, I have seen pundits on Sky Sports, on BBC, on TalkSport speak about Tottenham Hotspur need to be buying the players that will leave in a few years to take that step further, to level up. This is absolute nonsense. You need players who want to be wearing that badge. You need players who are willing to go out there and put in a performance. Because they are not interested in moving away, but they are interested in fighting for themselves and their teammates, their brothers on the field, their brothers in the stands. Not themselves. Because with fighting for yourself, what does it do? It shows 11 individuals fighting for themselves, which Antonio Conte mentioned in his rant 3 years ago and one day. He mentioned it. He saw the issues. The issues have been always this deep because Tottenham Hotspur's market strategy has always been the same. Buy players who treat you as a stepping stone, not buy players who want to be here. And that's a massive difference. Ange Postecoglou spoke about it. We want players who want to play for this badge. Well, clearly, it's not the case if someone doesn't care about relegation. It's clearly not the case. And I don't want to mention, I have an opinion on who it could be, but I will not say that. I will not put words in players' mouths. But you see the issue. We need to be purchasing players who want to be here, who want to say, wow, I'm playing for Tottenham Hotspur, not, wow, I've managed a step up to Tottenham Hotspur. I played really well 2 seasons and I'm off to Liverpool or to Manchester City or to Barcelona or to Bayern Munich. You need players to play for your teammates, not themselves. And that's a massive issue that we have right now.